Friends, thank you again for joining me on another Let's Talk with the Doc. I'm excited to have you with me as always, and I'm thanking you for taking the time to join me. And it is my hope that as you join, that you will be interested in what's happening here tonight. I got two of my good friends with me, and they're going to be sharing their story. So I'm excited about that. I have the phenomenal artist Paul Blackwood. If you don't know him, you'll get to know him. And I have the, what can I say, the cyber security phenom. I'm jumping out ahead with that. But I have Carlene Blackwood Brown with me, a sister of Paul. And so I have the siblings together tonight. So it should be an interesting conversation. When I come back, I am going to talk to the duo, the brother and the sister. So hang in there, my friend. When I come back, I'll talk with Paul and Carlene. ORB Ministry presents Let's Talk with the Doc. Grace Without Borders podcast. A thought for you. Ask Pastor. And a whole lot more. You never know what's next or who will join the conversation. All right. All right, my friends. I have with me Carlene. Oh, the childhood days are getting stuck in my head. The childhood days are hanging in my head. You got to forgive me for those childhood days. We're coming from a long way back. All right, so I have with me Paul Blackwood and Carlene Blackwood Brown. My friends, thank you for joining me on this special live stream. If you haven't yet hit your share button on Facebook, on YouTube, it's about time to do that right now. So your friends and Carlene's friends and Paul's friends and all our friends can join us wherever they are and to hear the story. What I find out in these conversations is that sometimes we think we really know the people that we sometimes grew up with, but then we realize that we really don't know them as much as we thought we know them. And so having the conversation with Let's Talk on the, with the Doc brings out some of what we never know. So I am not surprised. I'm expecting to find out some things about Paul and Carlene that I have never known. And so I think the same will be true for you. Let me start from where? I should have figured out who is older and who is younger, but let me give the lady the honor. Let me give the lady the honor, right? Let me give the lady the honor. Ladies before gentlemen, even when the cow is coming. So we're gonna give the lady the honor, Mrs. Carlene Blackwood Brown. Let me say it has been years. It has been years since I see you, right? Years since I see you. I didn't even know where life took you, but I'm sure I'll find out a little bit more tonight. That's why we're having this conversation. Welcome to Let's Talk with the Doc. So nice to have you.
Thank you, Doc. I just want to say a very special good night to all my friends and friends of my friends, family who are joining us, and thank you for tuning in. So, the name is Carlene Blackwood Brown. When I met my husband, He's brown, and most of us are from Jamaica, I assume. So,
I don't, listen,
brown.
I don't want to break you. I don't want to break you, but I'm not ready to talk about Mr. Brown yet. We're gonna stick with Blackwood for a while, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna put the whole thing together to just say that that's the reason why it's a double-barreled name, right? So
I
I had to keep the Blackwood, and then the brown is also attached to it.
I
But
figured.
let me go on then, Bishop. So I am the last, number 13 of 13 children that our parents had. Same father, same mom. Paul is number 12 and I'm number 13. So we have been like together most of the time. So um, we grew up in Jamaica, born and raised in the very beautiful parish of Westmoreland. And then we migrated to Kingston after we finished high school. And then, life has taken us all over the place. But yes, so Paul is number 12, I'm number 13. There are 8 boys and there are 5 girls. 8 boys, 5 girls, and I'm the last one. I'm the wash belly. Yay! I'm
Well,
the baby.
well. She gave me a lot of this story right out front. She just jumped ahead with it and gave it to me. Now, I didn't. I know there were a lot of Blackwoods around, right? I know there were a lot of Blackwoods around. I did not know there were. I didn't know there were 13 of the Blackwoods children, siblings. I did not know that. I didn't know. I don't remember if I recall that you were the last. I know there was so many little Blackwoods around. So all right, so some of them not so black. All right, but Mister Mister Paul, tell me your story. So 12 and 13. What was the story of the other 11 ahead of you guys? What has been the journey? Because I like to probe the beginning of days, before we come to Mr. and Mrs. What it has been like growing up with that almost almost apostolic or discipleship number of siblings. They were just trying to catch up with Jesus with 12 disciples. They really actually passed him, right? So boy, they were doing good.
Okay. First of all, I have to give God thanks for this privilege to be on your platform, Bishop. I mean, when you asked me, I was so humbled by it. I figured more or less is people of class and stuff like that only go on your show.
People
So
of
I'm
what?
really excited to know that you asked me. So I'm honored and I just want to say thanks to you for inviting us. And the question about how we grew up in oh my lord, that was fun. 13 kids, 8 boy, 5 girls, and my parents started first. Love God, fear Him, serve Him, love people, and have manners. Because manners will take you through the world,
And underscore that word. All our parents tell us that manners take you through the world, right?
right? Yes, sir. Yes, because I mean, sometimes nowadays you find some kids don't even know relate to anyone else. They don't say please, thank you, excuse me, I'm sorry. They don't know how to. They don't even know how to do that. So my opinion started from day one to just be nice to people, be loving. They taught us how to love. That's where we all learn to love. My mom said to us, if you have a grain of corn, you see a grain of corn is small, you should actually just cut it up into 13 pieces. So all your siblings have a piece. So it's not just I alone have it. June have some Radcliffe, Herschel, Tim, Dana, Vera, Gilly, Radcliffe, Dalton, Bibi. You understand what I'm saying? So she taught us that family unit, just love and share. And because she taught us how to love and share, then whoever else we meet, we love and share.
As you talk about the break the corn up and give everybody a piece. I remember when I was growing up, sometimes you get one bulla, right? One bulla cake, and you have to share it up. But some people were geniuses in sharing. They sometimes it's like five of them, and they share one bulla for five, and then they still get half.
Oh, yeah.
They're genius in sharing. All right. So what was it? What was it like with that number of siblings as you grow up? what kind of challenge you face, or there was no challenge in having all your siblings and you were the back end of it? I mean, everybody, all the others were older than you were. How did you feel the younger, growing up with everybody else older than you were?
Well, I felt
Well,
special.
Let's take Carlene and come, because she's at the
Okay.
bottom, and then that's the next step.
well, I think like the real bottom end of us, we felt very, very lucky and privileged because by the time we were born, our parents had used all the physical energy to beat everybody else. So we got away. We thought we got a lot of beating, but like the from number one coming down, they'd always say that we're spoiled. But Bishop, I just allow me to just name out all 13 because I know a lot of them
Go
are
ahead. Go
unmarried.
ahead. Go ahead.
Mom and dad, they started with a girl and they ended with a girl. How blessed is that, right? So we have Cynthia. Paul, please help me out here. We have Cynthia,
Jimmy,
then we have
James,
Jimmy, then we have Marilyn, then we have
Beckford,
Dalton, then we have Arthurine,
Green,
we have Josiah or Bibi, then we have Radcliffe,
Radcliffe,
Gilbert,
Gilbert,
um,
Donna.
Jennifer, or Donna, then we have Herschel, and then it's Tim, Paul, and June. Yay, I got it.
Whew.
I got it.
I have to
So
cheer you for that.
I still have a place in the family because I left out no one.
Trust me, because you're the last one, everybody would still protect you and forgive you for leaving out anybody
Yeah,
else.
they always do that. But just a little bit about like the growing up part. So we grew up in a tiny, tiny house, right? It's very tiny. But by the time we were born, like, because when Paul and I were born, our older siblings already started having children. So we were like, so we were born and we inherited this auntie and uncle. But even to this day, even though they're older than us, do you know that they still say Uncle Paul and they say Auntie Jude? They still do that even though we're older than them. So we had room, but when they were growing up, because I think for most of us we were like 2 or 3 years apart. Most of us were 2 or whatever years apart. So it was family, and it was so warm, and it was so much love. Mom would always and dad would always say to us that we are our own company, which means that we were not supposed to go out and get involved with anything. We'd literally get a beating if we went out and got involved, and none of us, honestly, and I can give God thanks. The only time that we run into the police is if we are speeding.
No.
None of us has ever seen any, had any interaction with the police. Like, we are dishonest because they like put it in us and when you're kneading flour and dumpling, they
Mhm.
needed all of that. And then we all grew up with that love. And Paul spoke about the one corn grain. I mean, that's the principle. Our parents were simple. And like dad just said, okay, I'm just gonna love everybody and respect everybody, no matter who you are, and be kind. So we inherited that. We had prayer meeting, Bishop, every morning.
Morning,
There
5
were
a.m.
two things that we couldn't leave the house without doing, without praying and having something to eat, no matter how small it is. We had to drink our tea. We had to drink tea, otherwise
Yes,
gas would be, yeah,
yes,
gas.
That's the story, right? That's the
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
Yes.
So memorable days,
yes.
man. Memorable days. Yeah. We didn't like it because mom would wake up, mom and dad would be in their room, and then they call over everybody. So 5:30 in the morning in the country, cold. Yeah, well, since I'm here now, I know that it was not cold,
Wasn't
right?
right?
It wasn't cold, but we would always go in and we were like trembling and we had to stay up. And on Sundays, I just share this. You remember that big Sunday school book, the commentary, and then they had the little tiny one?
Hmm.
Every Sunday morning, mom and dad would take us through the commentary. So by the time we got to Sunday school, we heard the whole thing already, but we had to sit down and listen, go into, and they teach us about God. They teach us how to pray, how to preach. Everything happened in mom and dad's room. Awesome.
That is a great story. That is an interesting story coming from Carlene and Paul, the Blackwood duo that I have. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that until tonight that I am having 12 and 13 with me. I don't know when I'll get one and two, if I'll get one and two, but I take 12 and 13. So I didn't know you guys were born in Westmoreland. I didn't really know that. I saw that later on. Westmoreland is my second favorite parish, just in case you didn't know that. White House to be exact,
Oh
right?
yes.
Yeah.
White House to be exact is my next special place, that I like. So good for you that you come from.
And we're from White House.
Oh, you are from actually White House. Oh,
Yep.
all
The
right.
Peace Village,
All right.
yes.
So you're right from my next favorite place. So good for you. Good to have you. So then you gone to White House. Your church was in White House. What church was like for you guys growing up? Parents, I see somebody just make a comment that missionary Blackwood and Deacon Blackwood were great band leaders in our White House Church of God of Prophecy. So tell me a little bit about your church life as you grew up in church before you venture out into the world to pursue your own dreams and aspiration.
Paul, you want to go ahead?
I'm gonna take that now.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was our root. That's our pure. I remember when I used to go to church, I used to, those nugget shoe polish?
Yes,
I
no, no,
used to
yeah, for
polish
sure.
and shine the bottom of my shoes. Yes.
You shine the
The
bottom
Holy
of your
Spirit. Not just it, yes. I used to shine down to the very bottom of my shoes. Mommy couldn't leave me. Morning and night to go into church, I'm gone. I love to go into the house of the Lord from them. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. But once teenager comes in, there was a little lull in me feeling that, excited to go to church. And I remember I hear my mom prayed, say, Lord, please save Paul. And my mom used to bother me, like, Paul, why you have ruling, disobedient, and I said, two bull cannot reign
uh,
in
uh,
his sin.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
am not any of it. And if you think say your pants will wear than a fractal, do this, do that, do this, do that. Yes. So my mom used to use some threatening words, and after a while, she stopped asking, telling me about Christ and serving God. She just started to live the life. And I heard her praying morning, noon, and night. Lord, save Paul, save him, save him, save him. And I just decided, I was saying to my wife after last night, my beautiful wife Carlene, that I was one of those persons who the Holy Spirit licked them down on the road, or have a dream or a vision, or they went through any seriousness. Say, boy, God must have brought me here for a purpose, so I'm going to serve him. I just got up and said, okay, Lord, here am I, I'm going to serve you now. That was really my account. So this church for me was just fantastic, man. When I got baptized, well, 43 of us got baptized in the scene White House. People were all in trees. I mean, it was just so nice. Yes. And some of us who were baptized then are still there. Sister Myers is still there. Quite a few members on
Wow,
that crew. Keith Jones. One of them is also a pastor, Pastor Jones. Keith. Oh yes. Oh
wow.
yes. But that's our roots. That's the
That, that's
roots.
that, that's a great story.
Exciting.
That's a great story. Are all your siblings Christians now, or some aren't somewhere?
No, three boys are still praying and interceding for three boys. While the girls are, and for us guys, the rest of the boys, brothers are Christians.
So girl at the front, girl at the end. So you guys are backed up in the middle. So those girls' prayers still coming from back and front. So hopefully that it will travel down with the domino effect and eventually take its hold. And all right. So you guys grew up and I know you grew up and you've gone to school and when at what point did you know what you want to do in life? If tell me about the transition as you grew up into becoming teenagers. What was your greatest influence, inspiration, aspiration? And tell me how did that happen before we get to the ultimate of the career right now.
Well,
Well, for me, well, just to add to what Paul had said, Bishop, when we were growing up, we were taught love and everything, but Paul and I would fight every day. You would never believe it that we'd just be coming out of prayer meeting in the house, and Paul and I would fight literally because I always annoy him because I'm the last one, right? So, and everything that happened, no matter what, all I had to do was to just start crying, and then Paul would get the beating, right?
Yes.
So I used to love doing that and provoke Paul. So we had our modes of transportation. We had a bicycle and a donkey. Those were the two things. A bicycle and a donkey. And Paul, like, because we did everything in White House, but we were actually born in a little district about 2 miles from White House called Long Hill. But we had to go to White House to take the bus to school, go to White House to church, go to White House to market, go to White House for everything. So Paul's job was to tow me on the bicycle and
Oh
take me
Lord.
down to the White House. Yes, so on the bicycle we'd be fighting. We were talking, but one thing though, Bishop, and even to this day, if you see Paul and I killing each other, leave us alone. Don't get involved. Because this minute we are like that, and the next minute we are like lovey-dovey, and that's how we have been all the time. To the point where mommy said, Paul is not getting baptized before June, and June is not getting baptized before Paul, because if Paul goes before June is going to make him backslide, and if June goes before Paul is going to make him backslide. So those days were lovely, lovely days. He would tow me on the bicycle, and as soon as I could ride, he would push the bicycle out, and then he would sit on the bar and say, I would have to take him. So poor little me have to be pedaling with heavy Paul on the bar, because he says, all the days I was towing you, now you're going to have to tow me. So even then we were fighting.
Payback time now.
Good, yeah. Good days. Good days, Bishop. So for me, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I was growing up. And this is for anybody out there who is probably wondering, or probably, oh, I don't know what I want to be. Don't worry. Just submit your life to the Lord and do things. High school, I wasted high school. Well, I mean, I went, but I got a few subjects, but I just didn't know what I wanted to be. Paul knew what he wanted to be. I was just going. I started out, and if I tell you my journey, you're gonna be, how did you end up in cyber security, right? So let me just tell you, I started out with high school. And you know, those days we prided high school because you have to pass the common entrance. Yeah, for those people know about the common entrance, had to pass the common entrance, go to high school, and then all of that happened in Westmoreland. And then I remember I told mom and dad, I said, everybody, when they grew up, they left you. You know, they are gone to Kingston to leave you. And I promised them, I said, Mom and Dad, I'm going to live in Westmoreland. I am going to stay with you. Graduation for me from Mannings. Yeah, big up to Mannings, even though we don't come nothing in the girls' champs, but Mannings. Maybe you don't know a name when it comes on to sports, but Mannings that's my school, right? And Bishop, would you believe me that I graduated Mannings this Thursday? So my brothers and sisters came down from Kingston, and I left Westmoreland the Friday, and I never went back to live down there, even though I promised mom that I'd be staying there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, even though. And then I went to Kingston, and guess who I live with? Paul.
Oh Lord. So
Paul and Tim.
Oh my goodness. So you guys are still so attached. It's no wonder when I made mention to him. It's no wonder, not surprising, when I made mention to him that, hey man, maybe you could make an appearance on Let's Talk with the Doc. He right away jump and grab you to come along with him. You know, so now I know what was the driving force behind that. My friends, I'm talking to Paul and Carlene Blackwood Brown, Paul Blackwood and Carlene Blackwood Brown, the duo, as you hear, the 12 and the 13 of a great family. And if you have not yet hit your share button on Facebook or YouTube, it's time to do it now, because there is still a lot more to come. We're gonna have Paul to demonstrate one or two pieces of his his favorite artwork tonight. We will get to the story of how did this all happen. All right, so now you get into Kingston, Carlene. You break your promise. How did your mother take that?
I guess she was used to it by then. I was number 13, so she just knew. But oftentimes she'd remind me and say, "Boy, look how you promised me, say you're going to stay with me, and then you just gone, right?" But that's where the opportunities were, right, for you to expand, for you to go to school, and everything like that. So I went to Kingston, and then I did some more subjects because, like I said, I did not do well in high school. I had a rocky start, right? And then after that, I remember, and I'm not sure if she's on, but Donnet Norman, um, I was talking to her and she said, "Why don't you come to CAS?" It was College of Arts, Science and Technology at the
Mhm,
time. So
mhm.
we call it CAS. Everybody should know that. Now
Yep,
it's
yep.
UTech, right? Yeah. So I went to CAS and she said, "Do this diploma." She was doing something in institutional and catering management. So now watch it. It's catering and now I'm in cybersecurity. Where's the connection, right? But I honestly didn't know what I want to do. So I went and I signed up, and guess who paid for me? My brothers and sisters, especially Paul and Tim. Well, all of them contributed to paying the tuition and to give me daily bus fare and everything that I had to take up to CAST. When I was finished with CAST, I was like, "Oh, what should I do now?" I didn't know. And then but there was something inside me. There was this drive for me to always want to go further. Didn't know where it's going to end up, but I just knew that I don't like to be in the same position all the time. I get bored when I'm like that. So I went over to UWI and I did a course in management studies. So from catering, because when I finished that thing at CAS, I realized being a Christian in Church of God of Prophecy, the hospitality and entertainment life, they didn't really mesh.
Mm.
And being this, innocent country Christian girl, that was all foreign to me because our parents, we couldn't go to dance, we couldn't go to, all we went to was church, school, market. Those were the places that we went to. So I went to UWI and I did management studies. And then I got a job. I hated computers. I didn't like the one computer course I was doing in my degree program at UWI. Nonetheless, I did it because I don't like redoing things, so I had to pass it. I did it. When I started my first job, the first day I walked into the office, and guess where I was working? At CAST. So my whole life beginning was all at CAST, right? And I went in and there was papers all over the office, and something just kicked into me and said, "No, man, me not like them upper paper. There must be an easier way to deal with these." And that was where my love for technology came in. And I said, I have to do something. So I started thinking of ways to use. There was one computer in the office, and I'm not that old, guys, but there were like about 4 or 5 typewriters. Remember typewriters?
Oh yes. Oh
And the one computer that was in the office, the ladies who worked in there used it to play a game because they didn't know how to use it. And that was where I started doing up some things. And all of a sudden, a lot of work was happening, and everybody was, where did this magician come from? But I honestly just used the one computer and produced. So, you print one, you type something once, and then you print it many
yes.
times, right?
Right,
So
right, right.
that was where my love for technology. And I said, wow, it seems as if this can take me someplace. And then I went back to UWI and did my postgrad in management information systems. And then I kept going. I started teaching at UTech. Now I wasn't in admin anymore, but back to UTech again to teach. And I mean, if my story is like all, it's not that it's coincidence. I know God had a plan for me because how I got into teaching, I was shy. You don't ask me to stand in front of anybody. When I was at university, I never asked a question in class because I would be the only one on the floor and all eyes would be on me. So I hid, behind everything. But then one day my friend said to me, "Oh, UTech wanted somebody to teach." And because, it's in the same area that I studied, and I'm like, No, sir, you must have mad me teach. Nah. And she said, yeah, it's just one class per week. And I had nervy stomach, everything that you could possibly think of the first day when I went in. And then the rest is history because that's what I'm still doing, even though I'm in cybersecurity. So I left UTech and I went back to UTech to teach. And
I,
that was the Jamaican part.
I am not surprised in where you have how and where you have excelled. If there's one thing I can remember about Carlene and back in those days, and I'm hearing it now from you, it's like she was always going to school. She was always going to school. It's like when is Carlene not? When is she gonna stop going to school? It's like every year, a year after year after year, all we're hearing from the Blackwood is that Carlene is in school, Carlene is in school, Carlene is in school. And I was wondering, said, my good Lord, she must be really pursuing some level of education because she is always in school. So now I know why you are where you are. And we're gonna come back to the cyber thing. When we in a little bit later, and we're gonna come back to the Mr. Brown thing later. So let's hear something from Mr. Blackwood, whose name has not changed. We want to hear. Tell me something about Mr. Paul Blackwood. Tell us something about your story. We have heard a portion of Carlene's. What is your story? We hear, oh, she was always putting you in trouble and causing you to get beaten and all of that kind of stuff, and the bicycle thing. What is your part of the story as you grew up, the 12th and the 13th, two of you who are knocking heads and arms and legs together?
Yeah, it was spot on. But one of the things that I forget to mention, I can tell you this. You see, if I brush against her too hard, she starts to cry. And she's not going to stop crying until mommy start to open her voice and threaten me. Yeah, I said, all right, all right, sorry. She just keep crying and crying and crying. And it's like, say, boy, heaven and earth, I come down. I pour my mother know the last daughter. She run come to her rescue. I'm going to say, oh God, sometimes I'm not so guilty still, you know. But because of how she react. But when I good thing about that, you see, my parents too, my dad, I remember him saying to us that he doesn't want any of us to do what he does. He was a fisherman and a farmer. So he went to do fishing at night and then come and get an hour or two sleep and then go farming until 4 or 5. He had to sleep and then go back. That man did that with over 50 years. Just doing that.
I
Yes?
recall that fishing is one of the staple of White House. I remember that quite well.
And would you believe it that all those years my father could not swim, sir? Nope. And I remember, I think, when I tell you, I tell you why I'm stop going to sea. Because then, okay, the kids are grown up now, man. You can't stop to do it, going to the sea and stuff. But he loved it so much. He and his brother went to sea, and some boat in them earlier, man, was parked, because they were in a canoe, no engine. And a boat was coming and hit it, and
Really?
my uncle fell out of the canoe.
Oh, really?
Right? God will have it that my God is so awesome, man. What God did is when the boat hit the canoe, my dad was at the back. So instead of throw it all out in the sea and crush it up, he'll let daddy side come into the boat and hit it. And my dad jump over into the boat and hit them.
Uh-oh.
So when my uncle died, because my uncle could swim, man. And when he said, well, he said, remember that daddy can't swim. So he said, daddy, when you look at daddy there boat. That was just God. That was just God.
So the Lord provided him a cushion.
Oh yes, man. Carlene couldn't swim.
That is interesting.
Yes,
That is interesting.
And
That is
from
interesting.
from my from I was a little boy, I know that I wanted to be an artist. But I remember when I leave King's College and went to Salamar Secondary, I didn't get a chance to finish my art. When I have art and craft class, I was
Hmm.
always helping so many persons to do their stuff, like still life, like if I draw the bottle and the rose and stuff. And when I finished helping so many persons, there wasn't enough time to do mine.
Hmm.
So our art teacher recognized that I like art, so she planned a trip and take us to Kingston. And he took us to the Boulevard Gallery, I never forget, and Grove Road there,
Hmm.
and Bishop and friends and family and the platform. I kid you not, I saw some paintings, and I went back, said, "No, I'm not going to be an artist. I can never be that good."
Oh, really?
Seriously. Yes, and I went back. I didn't say to my teacher, I still do my stuff, but I just lose interest. I just lost interest. I started doing electrical installation at school. One, I loved that so much. That was one that become my favorite, electrical installation. And I remember after finishing, came to Kingston. I started doing mechanic. And I didn't like mechanical because, trust me, I didn't like the blackness in my nails and fingers. You must have to wash the grease and wash. The iron is still some. I don't really like it, but I needed to do something. And after about 6 weeks, the Lord just tell me, say, enough is enough. This is not what I want for you. And I remember I see some guys on Trafalgar Road. They are hang some art along. No man, I
Yeah,
said, let me
that
start back.
Trafalgar Road thing, man. That Trafalgar Road
Yes,
thing. Yeah.
Trafalgar, yes. And God would have it that when I went there, I saw one of my countrymen, Courtney, my cousin Courtney Morgan. We grew up together in Westmoreland. I said, what? Marshy, we call him Mark. I said, Marshy, I didn't know he was here. I said, yeah, man. I said, Bridget, I want to learn this thing because I love arts now. And the man, and the guys, them open up them arms as they come. They gave me canvas to stretch and they showed me how the background and stuff like that and teach me and Akiwale and Walters and one of those guys, man. Did a fantastic, they welcome with open arms. And Bishop, I told you, I never forget, in June 1982, I sold my first painting. I got $60 for it.
$60.
It's the Jamaican dollars. And I took 30 and open an account at Bank of Nova Scotia in Kingston, Jamaica, Knoxville Boulevard. It's still there now. My account number is still there right now.
Wow.
And I use the other 30 to buy material, buy my like a brush, like a canvas and so. And the rest is history.
So now you feel like maybe something can come out of this, right?
Oh yes, man. Man, it's sweet, man. That
That's
first thing was sweet.
make money out of the first piece. Wow,
Yes, that was sweet.
Jamaican term is you just broke your ducks, right? You broke your
Broke my
ducks.
box. Yes. And I made sure I said, Lord, I want to give. And I pay my tithes too, because I can't forget that.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
that is fundamental, man. That a lot of people don't understand the importance, of
Mhm.
paying the tithe. It's a blessing. God
Amen.
open windows, open doors, and just shower you. And it necessarily comes back all the time with money. But it's a right frame of mind,
Mhm.
opportunities, you know, family, friends, just loving you, people just doing things for you, people just give you things. Just awesome.
Wow. I
Awesome.
just talk about a lot of people that I've spoken to. I find that we have some things in common because I've experimented in a lot of areas. FYI, artwork was my first love.
Wow.
To become an artist was my first love. Maybe about age 8, 9, I wanted to become an artist, but I was told that I would have to go to the Jamaica School of Art somewhere down in Kingston, and that was far fetched from me. That was not even possible to begin to think about it, and so the art passion in me gradually faded because I couldn't afford to go to the Jamaica School of Art. I still had the potential to do some things, and just not to break from your own story, but it took me until 2009, I think 2009, to actually go to an art school in Rochester and did at least one semester just to justify the passion I had. And I must have been 50 plus years old, 50 odd years old by then, but I wanted to do something for myself at that point. All right, so you've gone into artwork, you've gone from one piece to many pieces, and tell me about the progression of your development into art until you're now comfortable in becoming a real artist, not a what you call it, not a cobbler guy trying to do something. Tell me how that unfold.
Well, I must tell you, the love from I started in 82. I love art so much and I started doing that journey. I haven't worked again in my life. When I'm actually painting, it's like I'm having fun. It's like just nice. Sometimes I remember one time I sat around a painting for 23 hours. and work at it. Yes. All I do
23.
is stop. Yes, I still stop and have breaks, like to eat and stuff, but just keep going and going and because I just have this inspiration, this
Yeah.
flowing man. And
The momentum and the passion and the feeling
yes,
such is right there.
yes. I can love. I tell persons, if I said I look at you like a piece of art, don't feel cheap. Because sometimes in the night I get up and just look at some pieces on the wall. And I look and I penetrate and I smile. And each time I do a deep look, I see something else. I said, I didn't see that before. I didn't see
Wow.
that before. I said, wow. Yeah, but God gave me the inspiration, man. God is just awesomely fantastic. So it's our journey. Everything I am is because of Christ. It's because of God Himself. I'm just a vessel He's using. Because
Mhm.
I've been to some places. I've been with some politicians and some places, and nothing is
I'm,
doing that.
I'm, I'm gonna get to the collection part in a little bit from now because that is
Yeah.
fascinating and that's a story by itself. We're gonna dig into the to that piece of it, but before because art has been the rest of your life. It has been the rest of your life until this day. So tell me,
29.
let me go back to you, Paul, and tell me where did you at what point you got married and you felt okay, I'm a single man now. I need to get me a companion, and how did that happen?
Well, when 1990 came in, I said, Lord, no, man. Can't go no further. I need a wife now.
You tell the
You know?
Lord, no, man.
Yeah, I said, Lord, no, we can't live like single life.
I
I
would
need
I
a
would
wife.
imagine, I would imagine the Lord would be the one to tell you no, man, because it.
Well, you see, that's a go back to relationship. You see, a relationship with somebody, oh my God, you just free, you just speak. Say, Father, watch out. No, we need somebody now, understand. We can't bother go to church and go about and come back and me alone at the bed. No, we need a wife, man. We need someone to talk. Share. I say I want to share my life. And Bishop,
All
I
right.
kid you not. I have a lot of friends. And I said, Lord, I cannot choose one because if I do, I might choose the wrong one because everybody's look perfect.
Mm.
Everybody's the perfect one. Yes. But the Lord chose Carlene, my beautiful wife,
Okay, so
for
hold a
me.
second. Hold a second. Pause here for a moment. Was that Carlene thing ringing a bell?
You see,
I,
exactly.
I'm just trying to understand some of the inside thinking. Is it that you could not let go of Carlene, so you have
Carlene.
to get your
Yes.
own Carlene?
Yes, sir.
You
You
hit the
see,
nail on the head, Bishop. Because I said to him, honestly, I said, Paul, look how many ladies love you. Um, look how many. I mean, you express interest and they have expressed interest. Them love you up. Why you have to go choose one with my name, with feminine? And then when he got married, Bishop, you know what happened? I was living with them. And I wasn't married yet. So, they had two Carlene Blackwood in the house. So, so when and then Carlene, because Carlene, that is Paul's wife, and I, we have an amazing relationship. When the phone would ring and they say, hello, good evening, may I speak with Carlene? We were like, which one? Right? And they say, Carlene Blackwood. We said, which one?
Exactly.
Right. And then they say, the one with the Jerry curl here. We said, which one? Because the
Oh,
both of us.
Lord have mercy. Oh my
And
God.
then they said, the one that goes to you. We said, which one?
Oh dear Lord have mercy.
And then they'll say, okay, the brown one. And them say, okay, Carly, now you're Paul. Because that was the distinction. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we had fun
goodness.
with it. We had fun with it.
That
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is a story all by itself.
All by itself.
I,
Yeah.
I was I was not expecting that one. I'm glad I asked a question about the Carlene thing because then I would not have heard this. So
Yeah.
Paul actually put himself in a predicament, right? He had put himself in a predicament. So
Mhm.
he has to decide which Carlene he's calling himself to, right? Which Carlene he wants.
you
But
see,
and then
Bishop,
it was, I think it was just the name, because but it just just boggled my mind. I mean, because Bishop, you saw Paul, you saw him at youth camp, and oh, as I said, youth camp, I must say a big special hello to your wife. Sister Diana, because one time she was my camp counselor, and man, that was one of the best youth camp we have ever had. So
You
we
know,
went to youth camp, we went to every parish convention, we went to everything that church was keeping all over the
Yes,
country. And Paul still have to come
yes,
choose
conventions.
one Carly.
on Carlene. That is
One Carly.
amazing. And by the way, that's how I got to know you really, because my
Yeah.
wife, she has never gotten you out of her mind. She has never ceased to talk about you, and she's making a lot of comments on online here right now too, because you and your brother are two of her
Oh,
favorite people,
oh, oh,
and
yes. Oh, my dear, hi.
you Carlene you are dear to her heart. She's always amazed at your determination, your pursuit of higher education. She's always amazed at that.
I saw her put in the chat, Bishop, that she's surprised that I didn't do well in high school.
Exactly. And I am surprised too. I am surprised too. That's a shocker to most of us.
Yeah. I didn't have it yet figured out yet. I didn't have it figured. And oh, by the way, when I was studying, and this is just to just encourage anybody on the platform, as sometimes as we hear Usain Bolt says, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. You know how I used to study to go to school? Anybody knows about the home sweet home? You know what I'm talking about? The glass lamp.
Lampshade,
Yeah.
lampshade.
So we
All
had to clean the glass lamp because we grew up without electricity and without running water at home. So we had to, well, Paul and them had to fill up the donkey with the water and carry the water from outer pipe and come home. So I just used to use it. So those were some of the benefits of being the last one, all the guys. So guess what? Before, I think after Donna, there was Paul, then there was Tim, then there was Herschel, Minister Herschel Blackwood. In bad, I had to but all the boys, I had all of those boys to support me down in the country because we were all living together right down there. So no running water at home, no electricity. So we not go up on no cartoon and no TV, one little AM and FM transistor radio and prayer
right.
meeting.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
That was our entertainment and laugh and chat with each other. That was our entertainment. And play ball, cricket, and the dandy shandy, and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, that's how we grew
And
up.
you got a big family to play any game you want. Hopscotch, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
do anything, right?
We had a team.
Some of them, they've been to school.
Room for rent. When I run out, you run in. All
You
of that.
exactly, yes, yes.
School
The
cricket
young
team,
ones don't know what that is. The young ones don't know
we
what
have
that
reserve, you know.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. So now we're here. Now I realize, and I did not even know. I did not even know that Paul's wife name is Carlene, and I didn't. Now I know he got stuck with Carlene for the rest of his life, even though his sister is gone. He can't get rid of Carlene. All right. So you're joining us from Canada, right?
Yes.
So Carlene is in Canada, and Paul is in
Florida.
Florida. All right. So you're distance away. All right. All right. So tell me, Paul, as you pursue now, you find your own Carlene, you find your own Carlene to hold on to for life, and what your life has been now with your own Carlene as you grew up into pursuing family and dreams and continue to build. What was that like for you?
Oh my God, listen, Bishop. I was even saying that to her earlier. It's the best thing that happened to me since I accept Christ. Yes, my wife has been 100% beside me. She supported me, because it's when you're doing this kind of stuff, you need support, you need a base.
Right.
So she really asked, baby, please just pray for me. And the Lord will take care. That's why I just asked me, just pray for me. And my wife would make sure that I'm okay. And she prayed for me and supported me to her best of her knowledge and ability. And I love her. I appreciate her. I respected her. It's like, I mean, it's like words can't express. But she knows my heart. Sometimes I feel like I just start to love her again. Yes, man.
Mhm.
It's
That's
like
important. That's
it's like a
important.
well swimming up with all kind of excitement, you know. Can't
That's
melt anybody in anything. No, my wife is fantastic, man. Yes,
amen.
my wife is priceless. Kind of
Price.
when something's expensive, I mean, so rich people can buy it. When it's priceless, nobody can buy the Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa is priceless.
All
And my
right.
wife is even more priceless than the Mona Lisa.
All
So
right.
when you
Lyrics, lyrics.
I'm not gonna argue that. She's listening, I'm
In my
sure.
kids, man. She give me two beautiful girls. I mean, sometimes a baby, you make some beautiful babies in a man. My God, where you come from? Yes, it's one of the most beautiful Kaishane and Sharike. Two beautiful girls, man. I'm telling you, she's just, I don't know. She's a producer of beautiful babies.
All right, all right, all right.
And she's
How
she's
old are you, how old
yeah,
are your kids?
31 years. This time might be 31 years now. Since I got
31
married.
years since you're married. Good for you. God bless you. God bless you.
This is
God bless you. All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to you now in the artwork, the establishing of that, how you have spreaded your borders. I'm gonna come back to Miss Carly now, and find out the extension of her story. How did you get to Canada, and what is your brown story? Now that you can tell me your brown story, because you've gone through all of the colleges and all of the education and everything that you want to pursue in life,
a story.
and now you're getting brown now from black. This is interesting too, right? From Blackwood to
Still in the colors.
yeah, staying in the color. So tell me about that story.
Well, so when I was going to UWI for in the 1990s for the first degree, that was where I met Orlando. So well, I'm glad he's not on because he has a different version than I do. He has a different version, but just like Paul, when he was born, he knew he wanted to be an accountant. And Bishop, I don't like numbers. I hate numbers. So I met him, one day I was walking and, he saw me and apparently he liked me. So he said hi and I said hi. But I remember seeing him in my classes, right? So we started talking and then his major was accounting. Mine was management. So we started to meet up to study accounting, right? That's my story, to study accounting. And that was where, after we left UWI and then, graduated and everything, we still kept in touch. And I guess he couldn't keep me out of his mind. So, I think it was about, we graduated and then about 5 years after, then we got married because and honestly though, he is my biggest supporter. He has a quiet disposition and sometimes people mistake that, but he's my quiet storm, my quiet strength, right? So yeah, he sustains me there, biggest supporter. He's kind, he's loving. He just needs to think that I want something and he's gonna go get it.
That's
Right. So at all times, I know that he's right there. We have two wonderful sons. So Paul has two girls, and
mm,
I have two boys.
mm.
Right. One is 22, and the other one is 14. So it's like Paul and I are, are opposite, but yet so much alike. Paul, well, I can hardly draw a circle. Remember now, he's number 12 and I'm number 13. I can hardly draw a circle, and Paul can hardly send an email. Sorry, Paul.
Ah, I
so,
you know,
so,
it's interesting. It's interesting you say that. Thanks for letting that out. Thanks for letting that out because
So yeah, so I am his technology partner. When anything technology, he calls me June, do this, that type of thing. So, but we have always been together. When the thing about it, another thing about Orlando is our dad. He calls everybody sweet boy.
mm,
That's what he does. So when I took Orlando to meet dad, dad called him sweet boy. So he was like, yes,
all right, all right.
yes,
He
he
loves
likes me.
me
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
But then when he started hanging around, he kept hearing sweet boy for the sweet boy, sweet boy. So he said, oh my God. And I thought I was
And
special,
you
right?
I was the only sweet boy, but all boys are sweet.
Oh, everybody. And that was how that was. Everybody was. Honestly, if you didn't like dad, you must be the devil.
Oh
Because
wow.
he was the sweetest, nicest, kindest. He would take his heart out. But guess what? After having 13 children, right? And then another thing, because I like to keep going back to when we were growing up. When dad was having his meal, mom would like meat in one and then the food and everything like, in another. And
I
I
remember
was the
those days.
only,
I remember those
yeah,
days.
I was the only one who could go and sit in dad's lap, and then I could take anything I want. So everybody else would come on. Don't pass the piece of pork, give me. Don't pass the chicken. And then, I was so skinny because I kept giving everybody out of dad's plate. And then one day dad said, but you're not eating it, because I kept, handing it out. But he would have me right there on his lap. And then I would be handing out, Paul want a dumpling and my father dumpling. You know, cartwheel? You know what they call
Yeah,
cartwheel?
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Big old
So
flower carmen
that
thing.
was but he had to do that because, like Paul said, he would go all night in the canoe fishing without sleep. So, those night, when I'm calling again, Paul, dark night and moonshine. So, when it's
That you can
moonshine,
say.
no fishing because the fish would not bite,
Fish
but
don't bite
dark
the
night.
moonshine.
So, all of those dark night, he would go to sea the whole night, and then he would come home, get an hour, and then he would go to, well, if we want to nice it up, we say he went to the field, but him go a grung, so we call it him go a grung, and he would toil, and we thought we were poor, Bishop, because when it was dinner time, poor little we half a girl just got dig up we little potato and dig up we yam. Never knows his organic food.
All right. When we look back now,
Yes,
Natural food.
natural food.
looking back now, I was saying this to my wife the other day. Some of the times when some of the bush tea that we drank,
Yep,
Yes.
thought we were unfortunate. We were
exactly.
realizing that we were building good immune system.
Immune system,
Yes, sir.
exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. And
Right?
and we didn't know anything about antibiotics, because all Papa had to do, we call him Papa. All Papa do, go on at the back, go pull up some bush, come
So
back
come
and
give me
boil
a
it,
weed, man. Come give
Beef,
me a
boil,
weed
and
and
boil,
that's our
boil,
medicine.
boil it or
eat it,
beat it up
man.
and give some salt in it, and then here you go.
Yep,
Yes.
yep,
Yes.
yep. That's how
Great,
we grew up.
great story.
That's how we grew up.
My friend,
Yes.
I'm talking to Carlene Blackwood Brown and Paul Blackwood, the sister, brother, 12 and 13 of the siblings that you have heard, and they're all still alive. To God be the glory. They are brought up
Yes.
together and they're still sticking together, still supporting each other.
Amen.
Family, there are Blackwoods everywhere. Although Carlene June take it out and call it brown because she want to modify it a little bit. All right, so we're gonna come back. So if you have not yet shared with your friends and family wherever they are, it's a good time now to share. And if you have not followed me on Facebook, it's a good time to follow me on Facebook and or subscribe to my YouTube channel, because as I said in my slogan, you never know who next will be in the conversation. All right, so Paul, we're taking it in cycles now. So come back to Paul now with those artwork. Tell me your progression in your artwork, your progression, and where you have gone. I notice here that you and by the way, kudos to your wife, and let me give a shout out to your own Carlene in your own house. That's not going anywhere, right? I give a shout out to her and your
Yes.
kids. God bless them. All right, tell me about your artwork, because I know that I've never seen one of your displays, like like you're having an art show. I never come to one of your art show, but I've seen glimpses and synapses of. I heard that you come to Brooklyn time and time again. And by the way, my sister Elaine is giving a shout out to you, because she always giving echoing Paul, coming up and stuff. And by the way, Don also, there's something about this family that is attached to the Blackwoods one way or the other. So tell me about your progression and your achievement in your artwork. And when you do that, we're gonna give you a chance to show us one or two of your favorite pieces and tell us why.
Okay. Well, to be honest, no Bishop, as I said earlier, God, God do everything, man. It's like you have to give him thanks for everything. But truly, you see, before I say anything, I see our parents is not. June was mentioning about we thought we were poor. Yes, I did. Can we go in a thatch house,
Mhm.
thatch board house,
Oh wow.
Happy to have here. We cannot give you a little memory of that. But the thought is what they taught us. And now I've learned, no, it's not what the parents can leave for you, what they leave in you. So what they taught us how to live. We all can become billionaire if we put our shoulder to the wheel. You know? And when I started painting, I started doing like a landscape, you know, like a sky and blue and like a river and the sea. As I keep practicing and watching the guys go to exhibitions, go to different galleries, see other artists doing other stuff. So I stepped a little bit and started to do some more realism work, you know, more like people like in the marketplace, people walking instead of just the scenery and the how and started putting some country houses and people washing, playing games, you know, more activity in the art. And when I think that wasn't enough, because sometimes when I go to exhibitions, some folks will say, "Oh, I have landscape already, man. I'm looking for abstract." And I say, "Okay," but the truth is, you know, I'm a businessman first, then artist after. So if a person want abstract, we not get up every day and say, "Hell, it's of abstract me paint, it's just realism." I painted, so I'm sorry. I'm not. No, it's okay, Lord. Give me some wisdom, Lord. Teach me how to do some semi-abstract. I do some semi-abstract. And I recognize that the semi-abstract work as well, because some people, when they come, they have a balance. So if you go on my website, you will see some people ask, but this is not the same artist. And they see landscape, they see realism, and they see semi-abstract, and they see abstract. They see collages, because sometimes I put like canvas, it's a cloth, it's a tree, it's a stump onto the canvas and stuff, you know. It's a wood, it's a thread, which I show you later. Yeah, so to build it up. So, you know, that's where I really find God just give me inspiration to just try these things. And I recognize it work. So I am so grateful to the Almighty because of Him. Some say, Lord, please tell me what to do now. I remember, you know, my favorite piece, I don't have it with me tonight, which is in Jamaica. I remember when I went to my bed at night and I was thinking about my mother and I, man. Oh, God, I say, I couldn't wait for the daylight to come out. To start with painting. And I started it and I did it. And I still have it. I've refused countless thousands of dollars for it in the past.
People
I
want
said,
to
no,
buy.
no, yes. I said, no, this is my favorite. I'm going to keep this. This means it's called mother and child. Because my mom and I had such a close relationship. Then people are country in a dust pot. When father papa go see and take a barcode of fish and can it over the fire stove in the kitchen. Put it up, can it for a week, you know. Just salt it. The mommy wash it. And mommy that. The both of us were on the dust pot. Oh God, man, it's sweet. I'm telling you, you know. Yeah, so those memories, man, of childhood and parenting was. I'm telling you, that's why I'm encouraging fathers to stick to the kids, man. I said, you know, people say, Mas Abba, you have so much pity. You want them? That they say, no, man. These are my child. And I work for them. I take, I'm not giving none.
Oh, he said,
You
no,
know,
so these are not little puppies, right? When they give away puppy, when they give away.
exactly like a piglet. They say, oh, no, no. My dad said, no. So he stood there, work hard to make sure we got food to eat and clothes to wear and support and love. I know, I don't remember in my young days, mommy and daddy used to come and say, Father, I love you, my son, and rub my head and say, I'm proud of you and you're sweetest since sliced bread. I'm in love with this. No, but just hearing them speak, mommy, who you love more? Never say Paul, never say Cynthia, the first one, which is 81 years old now in the Bronx.
Oh,
Never say very well Tim. She just said, me love all I know. But
But
you
when
know,
you
man,
she loved me, right, Paul?
yeah, I mean, no, she love me too. That's all. We don't know who she love. Mommy die now, and we don't know who she love most.
wow.
Because she never done
Yeah.
that. She
That
just
is
show
that is spreading it around
yes,
equally, right?
spread it around, man. And so when I started the journey and I started to change up my art and stuff, you know, and I realized that people gravitate to it because some people who buy my art, I have to say, boy, it have to be God. Because I've looked at some of my artist friends who've been painting before me, who went to Edna Manley and trained. I'm not a trained artist, you know. I'm a self-taught artist. We learn
I
and
noticed
chop
that.
around.
I noticed that in the bio that you're self-taught.
Yes,
So
it's all,
that is a
all
blessing.
inspiration from God. Yes, man. And that's where I learned, you know, Morgan and Walters, Akiwala, those guys, Danny and those guys helped me, push me along, you know, and encourage me and stuff like that. So for me personally, I mean, some person who love me art. Some people come to my exhibition, Bishop, and say, boy, I probably know me not really buy no art today. But for some reason, I just love you, the virgin. Man, me like you, man. Me support your art. And I just purchase it. Then,
Wow.
you know what I'm thinking now? All because the pay me tights, man.
That's
You know.
a good conviction.
Because
That's a good conviction.
yes, your gift gonna make room for you. It's in there
That's
in
a good
problems.
conviction.
I'm sure people end up buying art in high places,
Yeah,
low places.
as you said that, because I noticed. I'm not trying to cut you here, but I noticed
Yes.
that you have some people you say who are some of your collectors, some of your collectors. Some of these I maybe know who they are. Some of them I don't know. But they are people in high places. I see you have Roberta Flack, singer songwriter. You have Sherry Lee Ralph. You have William Clay, Congressman Raymond Goulburn. You have Lowell Hawthorne, um, Golden Cross Bakery President CEO Sabrina Hosang, Bank of Jamaica collection. So tell us about some of these collectors and what are some of the pieces that they like.
Well, oh God, listen. Sometimes I wonder. They basically like, you see, I don't know, is it because of the country, because I'm from the country, I like to paint the country scene.
Hmm.
And I remember after a while traveling around the island, I end up in Portland, 'cause for me, Portland is the most beautiful parish in the island. Even though I'm from Westmoreland, but a place is just this piece behind me is in Portland, the Freshman Cove. That
Just
place is
water
naturally
side, water
beautiful.
side thing.
Yes, it's just naturally beautiful. So it seems that the people just like the art and the expression from the art. Some of them love the old houses more. Some say, boy, I love water. There's a friend of mine named Wendy in New York said, Paul, she bought a painting from me a couple of years ago. Said every morning she have to sit on her stairs, look up a coffee and look at the painting. Just the water, the reflection in the water. It's like she see
Mhm.
the water moving. She can imagine her feet just dabbling into the water and all them things. So art touch wide and small people. Well, not is small, but everybody is big in God's sight. But I mean, a right cross section of people, the
Mhm.
ministers, not through Christ. It's not even through me. So I have to give him thanks for that, personally speaking. Because Bishop, I'm telling him, man, some people who have sold my art, even Roberta Flack didn't just buy a piece of my artwork or two or three or four pieces now. She actually become my first daughter, Kaishani's godmother. She came to the
Oh wow.
christening and everything like that. So when she come to Jamaica, I could pick up at the airport and drive me like a jalopy car and stuff.
Mm.
Yes. So
Wow.
I mean, those persons, they let me humble. They just say, Paul, I don't know. Because that was always a dream for me,
Hmm.
to meet Roberta. Because I remember this, I don't think a lot of people in art field know about Cap Reynolds, Marceline, now deceased. And she was the person who promoted Cap's work. And I said, what? I want to meet that lady, I want to meet her. And she came to Jamaica. And the Lord, see, so God do him thing, him do it. He work and desire the heart.
Hmm.
He actually made her chauffeur to be my brother-in-law. So my brother-in-law called and told me that, boy, he's driving around Roberta. I said, what, Roberta? I said, no, man. Carlton want to meet her, brethren. Can my profile go show her? Can some pictures go show her? And they took them to her. And she actually loved the work and invited me to come on the Pegasus to meet her. So, I went and she came downstairs gracefully and introduced herself and met. And the rest is history.
Wow.
Got one home in Manhattan and down on the west side and she give me some nice food. Boy, I said, boy, rich people food tastes good, man. Me God in heaven. Yes, you can see the richness. Yes, yes, yes. I also eat shrimp. I say, wow. It's like
Uh,
I've never tasted something like that before or after. Oh,
wow.
yes.
Wow.
God, I've done something. I've been to Washington, to the OS building with all those politicians, with all over, people from all over the world, rubbing shoulder to shoulder with them. And I said, Lord, one time I stop and say, wait, Pablo, you can come to be a footballer, you would have. They didn't want these guys, but God,
I saw
but,
somebody tune in from Scotland
God,
earlier. I forget who
but
the
God.
person was. So somebody's tuning from Scotland. So you're spread far and you're spread wide, and you. So I'm gonna get June's Carlene's story now on her pursuit of cybersecurity, and then I'm gonna when we come back, we're gonna get you to share a piece of your two pieces of your so we can see what we can see the piece behind your head, right? We can see the piece behind your head stuck there that we can always pay attention to that. When I zoom you in, we can see clearly what's that behind your head right there. That is a piece of artwork, and that's I assume that's Portland. So we're gonna come back. You're
Yes.
gonna show us one or two pieces of what you cherished. So now, Miss Carlene, tell us, Mrs. Brown, tell us now. You move from not liking computer to becoming I don't know how to frame this, but somebody now who maybe like computer so much that you have to do everything to protect the computer.
Yes. So after finishing UWI, then we lived in Kingston for a while, and then we started thinking about migrating to Canada. So we filled out the paper and everything. So my husband was working at Alcan. So Alcan, he got a scholarship, like high school scholarship, and then he went back to Alcan, and then he was like being promoted all the time within the one company. So when we said that we were going to Canada, we said, "Oh my God, we needed." He said he needed some international experience in terms of interviewing. So we saw a job advertised in the Gleaner. God bless the Daily Gleaner, the Sunday Gleaner. Um, um,
That's what they call it now. The classified ads used to come.
Yes, the classified ad. So he saw this ad. The University College in the Cayman Island wanted an accountant. So he said, "Okay, I'll apply just to get the interview experience with somebody outside of Jamaica." So he went to the interview, and they offered him the job. So we were like, "But we never want it. We just want a little experience." And then we had a little struggle because I said, Mr. Lando, me nah living in a country was smaller than Jamaica. So, but we looked at all the possibilities, and then we left Jamaica, and then we went to Cayman. So we lived in Cayman for about 3 years.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and then when I went there, I started working still in education. So all my working experience has been in education, whether it's on the admin side or on the faculty side. So when I was in Jamaica, I started at UTech on the admin side, went back, did my master's, came back on the teaching on the faculty side, went to Cayman, then started working with the education department in data and communications. But that was on the admin side. So we spent 3 years in Cayman, but I knew that I wanted to do something more. And honestly, those little sounds in my head, because my friends were always, "Why you always a go to school? You always a study." But there was still something inside me, and I knew I wanted to complete my PhD one day. Don't know where the funds coming from, don't know what I'm gonna do it in or anything, but I knew I wanted to do it. So we lived in Cayman, and then we came over to Canada in 2005,
Mhm.
and then we settled here. Well, all now me I try Bishop to settle down in Canada. So so it's like mentally, and the same thing with Paul. Paul and I are so much alike. Mentally, like I tell people, I sleep in Canada, but
Your
you
mind
know,
somewhere else.
no, Jamaica, not just
Mind,
somewhere else.
okay.
It's
Okay.
in Jamaica. So we have been living here, and then after we settled, guess what? I started teaching in the college system in Canada. So I was always teaching. By then, all the time that I'm teaching computer-related courses to business students, right? So I'm always looking at it from a people and business perspective.
Mhm.
So when the time came for me to do further studies, and I was like, what should I do? I started to like security with the internet and everything.
Mhm.
Because and then when you're gonna do what they call a terminal degree, like the PhD is, you have to do it in something when now go out of style.
Exactly.
You understand me?
Exactly.
So I started looking around, and then with prayer, and I say, okay, the internet exploding, right? And the more you use the internet, you gotta be secure. So I started in the whole six cyber. Well, back then, because they call it internet security, but now everything is cyber. So
Cyber.
they call it cyber security. So I applied. I was living in well, not was. I am living in Canada, and I searched all over because I wanted to do. I my degree, I wanted it to be in the computer field, but I didn't want it to be like from the very technical where I was doing programming and all of that. So I had to search a whole lot to find a university that offered a PhD program that they looked at the whole computer thing from a people perspective. So even though it's cybersecurity, I'm still on the behavioral part of cybersecurity. So I applied and I was accepted at Nova Southeastern University in Florida.
Mm.
And for the time that I did it, I started in 2014. They say that minimum you can do 4 years. And Bishop, I said me now do nothing over, and I don't want it to stretch out. So I like doubled up and did two courses, PhD courses at the same time. At the
Wow.
same time, I was a wife. Well, I'm still a wife, a mother, right? And then 1 minute I was the prof teaching, and the next minute I was the student,
Wow.
right? So all of that was happening all at the same time. It was crazy. People told me I was suicidal, but when when I finished though, Bishop, I said, me now go back and no more school unless it's Sunday school. Unless it is Sunday school, that's the only thing that I'm gonna go in. So
Oh,
that was how I ended up, and now I still teach in the faculty like of business, teaching business students computer related courses, but now I've segued into teaching actual computer students about all about information security and how to protect not only yourselves, but all the devices. So that's what cybersecurity is. Anything that's connected to the internet, you gotta protect it.
gotta
It could
protect.
be it could be your watch, it could be your pen, it could be your TV, it could be your phone. It's because sometimes we just think it's the computer. So I've been in that. I started a company, but because I have this passion in me to always give back. So when I'm teaching, just like how Paul says, when he like spend 23 hours on a piece of art because he's passionate.
Mhm.
When I go into the classroom, it's like I don't remember any issue that I'm having at all. It's just all about me and the students, right? So I pour into them and I ask the Lord, because, well, I think I can speak on this platform. When you're living, especially in North America, you got to be careful how you mention God.
Right.
But every semester, when I see my list of students, I pray for them because I know I cannot, witness to them one on one.
Right.
And sometimes, I remember one student came to me and she said, Carlene, you're always smiling. Why are you always smiling? So I use it as an opportunity and I say two things. One, I'm a Christian, and two, I'm Jamaican. and, and we don't let anything bother us. But
Right.
that's how I interact with them. So even though I cannot come and say, hey, would you like to, know more about Jesus? I try to do it in the way I conduct the classes, being kind to them, and the whole nine yards. So they are like my students are my life.
Big,
I
you
call them my
big,
students. They are my life. So that's how I ended up. I still have my company. So if you'd allow me, let me say it is this weekend we're gonna launch our new website.
okay.
But we offer cybersecurity related services to both companies and also to individuals, right? So that's what we basically
That's
do.
interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah.
So Carlene Brown and Carlene Blackwood Brown, we're gonna hear more about what her cybersecurity website is gonna be like, and so we can pursue that to protect what we have. Maybe I might get a deal somewhere. Maybe I might get a deal being the one talking about it here. So
Let's see. Let's see.
Protect what my things, because I have all kind of things. I even watch, so you say you protect everything. Yeah, if it's connected, you need to protect it. So maybe
Yeah.
I might, something I need to pursue. All right. So tell me what is most vulnerable, if that's a way, if a way for me to phrase it. I know, I just, if something is connected to the internet, it is vulnerable, and especially now where there are hackers of every level, and just like how Paul's passion to draw, to do his artwork 23 hours, there are some people's passion to try to hack your computer and to get into your system.
Mhm.
um what would you say about that, the level of vulnerability and the consistency of those who are pushing to get into hacking your whatever it is?
Okay, so from the user standpoint, I would say like the most vulnerable area is our knowledge about what's happening. Most persons do not know. And if you don't know, then you can't do anything about it. But the hackers, and especially since the whole COVID, because all of us, everybody has lived online since COVID started.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
buy food, we buy clothes, we have friends, we connect. We go to church,
Hmm.
right? All online. So right now the hackers are having a field day,
I can
because
imagine.
before, a lot of us were on it, but now it's like everybody. So who they go after the most, especially in the users, which is what most of us are, because like I'm not like talking to companies right now per se, but they're everybody, like from the little child who is going to school and they have to be online, right?
Right, right.
So they go, so right now they're basically just sitting back, or as we say in Jamaica, them just answer back and just say, okay, let me see what Carlene is gonna tell me about herself on social media. So
Mhm.
I am like, hey friends, I'm like bragging on my friends, and I say, I'm on my way to Jamaica, right? And then with technology, with GPS, satellite, Google Earth, they can see my home,
Right,
right? So
right.
what they can do, they don't have to be where you are. For traditional crime, you have to be in close proximity to each other. But when it comes to cyber crime, you can be anywhere in the world.
Right.
And
Hmm.
right. So what I would say is that the hackers now, they go after the people with the least protection, because there's so many of us. So I usually say to people, picture an onion, right? And you peel off one layer, you still have got out. You peel off another layer. So don't just say, okay, I have malware on my computer, antivirus, right? Sorry, not you have antivirus to protect you from malware. So don't just say, I have antivirus on my computer, and you have a weak password, right? Or I hope I'm not touching anybody. We use the same password for every account
Everything. Yeah.
because it's easier to remember.
Right.
So in my recommendations, I usually say to people, and I borrow this line from Lady D. I saw her on, keep in the know, stay in the know,
Staying in the
always update you. Them have YouTube, them have Google, so you don't even have to go to formal school to get all of the knowledge. Just watch a video on YouTube or something about what is now ransomware out there. So many different names.
and the fishing, all
And
right? And the
yeah,
fishing,
oh,
yeah.
oh, oh God, don't mention the fishing. And the fishing, PHISHING,
Right.
it comes with the same concept. My dad was a fisherman. Him go out to sea with him bait and him throw it over. And the
See what will
stupid
bite.
fish, but him just hope that a fish will bite. And that one came home and we eat him for dinner, right, Paul?
Yes,
So he
nice
became our
feeling.
dinner. So what the hackers are doing, they now blast out emails. And the emails look like they're coming from a legitimate company, like your bank,
Mm-hmm,
the
hmm.
hospital, COVID help. Yeah, get money from the government, all different
Yeah,
types of
yeah,
things.
yeah.
And then because we're so preoccupied with, boy, where the next meal I gonna come from, how am I gonna pay the light, all of these bills and the water, and how am I gonna pay my mortgage and all of that. We are so preoccupied. So we don't pay attention to the emails that we get. So they just blast it out. And the fish, so that's fishing, sending out emails to thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people,
Hoping
hoping
that
that
somebody will click
somebody
on a link there.
will click on a link
Hmm.
or click on the attachment. So, guys, when you see click here, I always say take your mouse and hover. Just don't click on the click here, just hover it and look in the bottom left hand corner of your window. You will see where that link is going to take you. And more like 99% of the time, it's not going to take you to what they say you're going to get. So, what I say, when you're on the computer, use eagle eyes and be alert. They're thinking about, getting you into a more aware state of mind when you're on the internet, because you can get duped. And all they need you to do is to click one time.
Just click. Just click.
Just click
Just
one
click.
time.
And everything
And
you have
that's
all
it.
your secret and
Opening
all
it,
your yeah.
opening the email, nothing is wrong with that. They need our participation. So it's like the devil comes to us with temptation, but if we don't participate, we're not going to be tempted, right? So it's the same thing. These hackers, they know people's vulnerability. They know a lot of people don't know about these things, so they come up with all different types of tactics. All they want to do is to get your information, because when they get your information, they can log into your bank account. They can open up and take out loans in your name. Identity theft is what they call it. So
Yeah.
it's a whole crazy world. Don't be perturbed. Just keep yourself in the know for everybody, and watch a little video or call me. Call me and we can talk. So it's a whole lot of things happening up there.
Call the cybersecurity consultant. The cybersecurity consultant. I haven't even looked at their bio. I'm just talking to them. Well, they're telling us what's on the bio, right? They're on the little synopsis of bio that I have here. They're giving us the details. I don't even have to look at that. My friend, I'm talking to, and I know we're running down to good time. I told them if it was good, it would last an hour and a half, and if it was really good, it might go to 2 hours. I'm talking to Carlene Blackwood Brown and Paul Blackwood, brother and sister. And if you didn't hear when we started, if you weren't here, you wouldn't hear. And if you didn't know that to be true, that they are the 12th and the 13th of the siblings to their mother and father, and they are still alive, and they still love and cherish each other, and they still support each other. And this is a great family. This is a great family. All right, so uh, we're gonna hear you're gonna tell us what your website is gonna be when you come back, right? You already, I'm sure you have the domain name, what it's gonna be. All right. So my friends, when I come back, I'm just gonna take a little 30-second break and play something, because Paul Paint and June or Carlene is cybersecurity. I am pastor and I write a book, and I've written 2 books, and I'm writing more books, right? So we all have different things. We grew up and we all veer off into different directions, and we do different things. But you know what? The great thing is that we complement each other, and we are here for each other. So when I come back, I'm going to talk about just a little bit about my book that I wrote, one off the 7 churches of Asia Minor. If you have never gotten a copy yet, it's a good time to get a copy, because it is educational. You can use it in Bible study, you can use it for personal study, you can use it for any reason. It is the 7 churches of Asia Minor, or the 7 churches in Revelation. When I come right back, I'll take a look at Paul. published another ebook, and that one you can find. And you can find my book on Amazon and all of the bookstores where they're available. But if you're in the United States, you can get it from me directly through Facebook or on obeckford.com. And by the way, you'll get an autograph copy. If you get a book, a copy from me, you'll get it with my signature on it. I just wrote one, a little ebook, only a few pages, but it's called Don't Judge Me by My Scars or Hold Me Hostage to My Past. That is downloadable for only 99 cents on Amazon. You can go there, just look the title, Don't Judge Me by My Scars or Hold Me Hostage to My Past. You'll find a good read. All right. So here we are, Mr. Blackwood, the artist man. Show us one or two pieces of your favorite art and tell us what so special about it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I like to show this one for the first because this piece depicts my childhood. Where I grew up in the country, grew up in a thatch house like this. Thatch house, board house. Not many rooms, maybe about 3 or 4 rooms. There was so many of us. And the kitchen away from the house.
Way down the road, right? Way down the road.
Yes, my dad taught us, listen, you cannot put the house and the kitchen closed because you use fire and touch, easy for our kitchen burned down several times.
Oh, really?
But the house, yes, the house never burned down because the house was away, a good distance away from the kitchen.
Wow.
Yes, so we grew up in that house, and the fence. You see the fence at the front of the house here. It's like it's a real wood. I put on a cut collage, cut the wood out, and glued onto the canvas, and then I have a thread. I put thread here, like the barbed wire. We call it barbed wire those days. The thread here, the thread I put onto the canvas also to give it a real feel. You know, so it's all the
you can actually feel the thread.
Yes, you could feel the wood here. And you see the texture of it, you can feel it because the wood is there and the thread is there. And you see the yard clean. You see with a coconut broom and rosemary broom, to sweep the yard. Mommy said, boy, listen, you have to sweep the yard every morning before we go to school and clean and shine the floor. Anybody know about Rexo floor polish?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
When you don't shine that, I must be able to park my hair on the floor. I don't shine. Mommy say don't shine. So, oh God, mommy, I say better shine. You don't still get beaten. So shine and shine and shine and shine. Yes. So we grew up in a thatch house. This is where it come from. This painting signify roots. So how this spring off, where house might own whatever there, whatever, and whatever possession. This is where it started. This little country touch house.
Whoever manja know that's where it started.
Yes, that's where it started, I know in the Pansina trees, one of those beautiful trees in Jamaica or some part of the Caribbean, you see some beautiful, no matter how the time, it's a bit on the greener side, that darkish greenish, just pop up, especially during the Christmas time. Coming out to Christmas, this tree just light up the place, man. Give you a little, Yeah, so this one, personally, for me, I like to show this because some people don't like to show where they're coming from, Sometimes when I do exhibitions all in New York and people say, some say, Black, where are you from? I say, I'm from Westmoreland. Some people put their hand on their mouth and say, wow, you're the first Jamaican I know, not from Kingston. We say, yeah. I say, nobody knows from Kingston. I say, no, man, I'm a country boy. I'm proud of it, because of what I've learned in the country. Man, it's like words are not enough.
Right.
There's a small one here too. With some washing on the riverside, this piece. Yeah, we used to do like a washing, go by the river, and mommy used to do like a washing there and here and there. We just sit by and pass by and look at her washing. All over. Right now, if you go to Jamaica, there's some parts of the country still find women at the river washing.
Yep.
Like a pastime,
Part of the culture, right?
Part of the culture for the washing. So I just do this little piece and just to depict the country because I like to depict the country days. And then we go this piece now. This one is one of those long time houses, you see? You remember Hurricane Gilbert and all them things there?
Uh-huh.
These houses, were built from way back, maybe in the 1920s, 30s. And Hurricane Gilbert came and laid his roof on top. And most of the new fancy homes, roof gone.
Right, right.
These, these houses stood the test.
Can bring that a little,
That people,
bring that a little bit closer to the camera. Come a little bit close up to the camera there.
yes, yes. People, we have like a boy here, the son sitting on the step talking to him, friend come visit him with mommy looking, because mommy used to be like our supervisor,
Uh-huh.
still watching us. Now leave us alone to do what we want to do, because kids can do crazy stuff sometimes. So she'll be at the door standing, I'm sitting down here, my neighbor pop by, the nice courtney flowers and the rooster, man. Look at the rooster, it's the rooster. Yeah, all of these country homes are like a rooster in the yard. Yes. Because mommy used to rear hens and look at piglets there and a goat and stuff like that. And this piece now is called Reggae Falls in St. Thomas. A lot of people don't know about a lot of people know about the Duns River Fall, but not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily the Reggae Falls. Reggae Falls is one of those falls that recently discovered in St. Thomas. I know
Mm-hmm.
reggae is really Jamaica. It's a Jamaica, it's a reggae.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So this is one of the falls that is there that a lot of tourists haven't been there yet. It's almost, not as popular as Don River, the Wyeth Falls, and there's popular falls and Reach Falls and stuff like that, Somerset Falls. But this one, the
Is
Reggae
that because, is
Falls,
that because it hasn't been really discovered or been
it seems so.
utilized for tourist attraction? Or,
That much. It seems so. Because it's not that popular. And St. Thomas is not as popular as St. Anne
yeah,
and
that's
those
true. I
parts
know,
of
I
the
know, I
country.
know. We have Bath in St. Thomas. You have Bath, and then,
Right,
and all of that stuff. Yeah.
right. Yeah, so it's like a depiction of the real thing and like a fun thing. People come over the river, you can have a nice rushing water coming down and beat your body and make you feel fresh and gives you inspiration.
So you,
And
so
then
you,
St. Thomas is next to
your
Portland.
artwork is fundamentally scenery and
Yes,
nature. Kind of.
yes, yes. I have like an abstract, really abstract. I like an abstract piece that I do sometimes. I do like an abstract. Like this piece is collage, really. It's this guy playing the violin thing. And this we call this thing cocos bag. The
Mm-hmm.
guitar here, the first the guitar here is burlap. We call it burlap here, but in Jamaica we call it cocos bag. So I
Mm-hmm.
cut the cocos bag out and glue it on and then paint it. So it give you that 3D effect. You can actually feel the cocos bag, the roughness, the texture. So I did some of these. I don't really do much real abstract because I like to leave something that people, if they look carefully enough, they
Mm-hmm.
can identify something. Because
Right.
I don't want my art, personally speaking, don't want my art to always be a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
I like it to be, people can semi abstract.
Right.
So I do
Right.
some of that sometimes. I really do. And it depends on inspiration. Sometimes I get up in the morning and say, Lord, what am I going to do today now? The Lord said, just do abstract, man. I
Mm.
mean, just do abstract. Next time, we just, maybe can bring that piece for me, please. Next time, we just do something more semi abstract. Like for this piece now, yes, this piece is total abstract. You have to really, really look into this piece to see
Mm-hmm.
anything in one thing. You could see
Mm-hmm.
many, many, many different things in this. So sometimes I look at it and say, wow, I didn't see this. I didn't see that. I didn't see like a man. I didn't see like a woman move in the dancing. So it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I just go by the flow. When the Lord gives me inspiration, then I just go with inspiration. And I must tell you this, I must drop this in. I'm longing to go back to Jamaica to get some inspiration, man. I need to go get my groove back. Yes. When I'm home, inspiration just flow, man. Just flow, just flow, just flow, just flow. Here, that's you have to tell yourself that, okay, Pablo, been a long while in your paint. You have to go paint something now. You know? But God has been good. It's a learning process and it's been fantastic. I give God thanks for his love and his mercy and for my family, my wife, my beautiful wife, my God and my daughters. Yes. I bother them every time and my sister June, when it comes on to I want something to be done on the computer, I call them and I ask them, please help me do this, help me do that, help me do this, help me do that. Yes. So God has planted a lot of people in my life to support me. A lot of folks, a lot of. There's one gentleman who passed recently. His name was Easton Lewis. Easton Lee. That man used to take his paint to his office in Kingston. I said, Paul, I'm going to show it. Sometimes we're going to Eastern office and Vivian Blake, Vivian Crawford from Jamaica National then. You couldn't see, and you couldn't get them to walk. They have a painting office top saying that, man, I want this painting. I have a young artist coming up, and I want you guys to see his work and stuff like that. You know, it was amazing. A lot got a plan. Some people, Beverly Lewis, we just hop on. Anybody else, please. I need to send in London, into Canada. I need to talk to somebody. And poor me now, not so good at writing of letters. So I provide people. So it never just fall alone journey. I have family who gave me support. And June, man, June, Mr. Carla Pope, yes. Take nickname. Yes. Yes. Mr. Carla, Mr. Carla, help me. Yes, man. I saw we live, you know.
I
And
hear
she
you,
has to
man.
look
I
up
hear you.
my back.
We're
My
all
back.
proud of you, man. We're all proud of your achievement,
Yeah, this
man.
one,
And
it's like a ballerina, dancing, ballerina dancing and stuff in this one. If you look carefully, you can see the ballerina in this one. Yeah,
yeah, wow.
dancing. Yeah.
Proud of you, man. We are proud of you, man, and congratulations on you and your consistency and the hard work that you have done over all these years.
Yes,
I've
yes,
seen people on here. I've seen people on this live tonight that I have never seen. I see Pastor Novel Wilson is on here making a comment. And by the
okay.
way, I saw Michael. You know Michael Mills.
Oh, yes, man. He's the one who
Cousin.
baptized me
I I
41 years ago in
I,
White
I saw
House. Of
I saw
course.
him on here talking about my cousin. My cousin, but you really know Michael
Yes,
Will? Michael? Oh my
my
God! Well,
cousin.
I mean, if
And
you come
he
from White House, you gotta
baptized
respect
me.
me. But I can't believe that you and
Yes.
Michael Mills are cousin. Michael Mills is
Diamonds out
Michael
of your
Mills.
God. Yes. And he
Other than
baptized.
Bishop Sam, Michael Mills is my best friend in Westmoreland for maybe nearly 40 years now. My best friend in Westmoreland.
Yes.
So big up Michael. Thank you for joining. And earlier, Paul, I saw somebody here saying that they were collectors too, and the person say we're tuning in from China. The person
Okay. So
is
Beverly, Shirley. Yes,
Beverly.
Beverly. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. As a matter of fact, the painting behind Carlene, the one in the church, Bevan bought it.
Okay, so
That's the
it's
original. Yes.
Beverly Shirley here. It's a big up.
Yes.
We are collectors too,
Yeah.
tuning in from China. So boy, this is as far as we gone, far
Yes.
east as we can get
Yes.
with Let's Talk with the Doc. My friends, I am talking to Paul and Carlene Blackwood Brown, and she just posted her website coming up, and I think that's what it is. I think Orlando posted that's gonna be it technologically speaking.ca. Technologically speaking. All right. So you take a note of that. And if you need more information on cybersecurity or to protect yourself, what not to click on. Here is the cyber tech. She's telling you don't click on links because it look like it coming from somewhere that you are familiar with. It might just look like it, but it is leading you into dark places. And if you're vulnerable and you don't know, don't touch anything until you verify, find out, and get help. All right, because once you've gone down that dark place, you maybe can't come back. By the time you realize, everything might be cleaned out of what you have worked for your lifetime. Oh my goodness, this has been one of the. And if, by the way, if you haven't yet shared the link, Facebook and YouTube, you can still share it because all of June, Carlene, and Paul, family and friends from way back when need to hear the story. I guarantee you, some of them never know what we heard tonight. I guarantee you that. All right, my friends, and follow me on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel because you never know who next will be in the conversation. I am coming from a long way. I know a whole ton load of people. All right, so and some people that you never thought of, I will have them on. Let's talk with the doc. I promise you that. Paul and Carly, it was just a pleasure to have you. What do you have to say to anybody as we try to come to a conclusion? I don't think we even at the end of it, but I think we're gonna have to conclude it until Paul say get Carlin again, then we can come back.
Well, Bishop, what I would like to say now, I want to say thanks for all those who came on and shared with us, make comments. These are the things that keep me going. I cannot live Even since even my wife and I was discussing about why my life can't be for me alone and she. Let me share it, because I understand when I do this, a lot of people get inspired and people learn, people get blessing and stuff. And my suggestion would be to everyone, serve God because God is real and He's coming back. This is not a joke thing. We've been preaching and teaching about God, and we cannot hear it and hear it and hear it. But now I can tell you, Paul, Rochester, Blackwood, Sybil, and Blackwood, and Arthur Blackwood, boy, I tell you, last boy, out of 8 boys. See that God is real and He's coming back. And we know test will come, trial gonna come, but run faster than Joseph. Just serve God, you know. Make up your
Whatever,
mind because
whatever
it's
it
real.
takes, whatever it takes, whatever
Yes,
it takes.
once you serve God, once you have God as your foundation, then the rest will be history. I'm a living testimony. I know it no high school. My sister been to high school and universities and stuff. Secondary school, it was my highest. But what? You see, God call fools, but He don't keep fools.
Well,
And I have a thing
we
called common sense. And once you accept Christ and let the Holy Spirit lead you, my God, if you don't tell
can do
people they don't know, you can do all things
through Christ.
through Christ with strength in you.
Amen.
Back of my business card, listen, I must tell you, the back of my business card, you flip it over. So when I hand it to a person, I say, read what's back of my business card first before you read about how to contact me. It says that, did you know that the greatest discovery is with God, all things are possible?
Amen.
That's it.
Amen.
That's my business card. Yes.
Shout out to you.
So,
Um, and
yes.
uh, and shout out to Lady D Dennis Gomez who been with us
Oh, yeah.
because she been here and she hasn't left yet. She's still hanging in there with us. So that means you guys are having a tremendous impact on many people who have joined us tonight, and I'm sure there are a lot of new people. Um, Cyber Pro, what would you say to those who are listening as your last words for tonight? And thank you so much for joining me, and thank your husband for helping to make this happen, and make you look better in the long run.
Bishop,
Um,
before June comes on, June before it comes on, believe it or not, you see my wife, Carlene, Lorraine, Blackwood. Listen, nothing to compare to my wife. I just want to big her up on this platform. She me love her and I appreciate her support. She's been no, we can't find a word, but she's the best wife possible. And I really do love her, man, from the depths of my heart,
To God be the glory.
And my
I'm
best
sure that
to
makes her
prove
feel.
every day that I love my wife. And that settles it. God is just awesome. God
Amen.
is fantastic and awesome. And thank you, Bishop, and your beautiful wife, Diana. I love to hear you guys sing. When you guys
Yeah.
gonna come on and program and sing for us.
What,
I
what,
love to hear a couple.
maybe one of these times, we'll sing something. Maybe one of these
God
times.
bless you and your family.
God bless you.
Appreciate it. And thanks for the invite. It's been a
Glad,
pleasure.
glad to have you, man. Glad to have you. We're just the beginning. We know a lot of people from way back, and we love to see how God, take us different places, and the impact that we're having on the lives of many people who is brought into our lives, and the skills and the profession, and what He has blessed us with, and to God be the glory. To God be the glory. All right, Mrs. Brown.
well, like Paul said, I just want to say thank you, Bishop, for inviting us. Thanks to all our friends. I'm reading going through the chat as they pop up, and I'm like, oh, you're on, oh, you're on. So a lot of friends. But just going back to Brother Mike, that's what we call him.
Brother
There
Mike,
were
yeah.
two people. There were two people's home when we were growing up that mommy would trust to make us sleep at, and that was Mother and Mike and Jen, brother Mike. So we had fantastic. They were the
And
only
Sister
two
Jane,
people because we could not just go sleep anywhere. Mommy had to know where we were, who we were with, and they trusted those people to take care of us just as how they would take care. But I just want to say and to
By the way,
encourage people.
before you give your last, just so you say that. By the way, I slept at my house already too.
Okay. Oh, well, then you know the hospitality, right? You know, the hospitality.
Yeah,
So
that's my
all
friend.
those, yeah. And I also saw Donna Wilson, a lot of people who we grew up
Oh
with
yeah,
back
Donna.
in the
Yes, Dr.
country,
Donna.
yeah, and we
Yeah.
had so much fun. Blossom, myself, well, let me not start calling names, but I also
Yes.
just want to recognize my family, the siblings who are here, because I guess people who, and I just share this, there one time, I mean, we had some friends come over, and we were just talking about family, and then the big man, he married. Him just look at me and him say, "Can I be a part of your family?" Because he said there were two of them in the family, and they didn't talk to each other. So he was so amazed that his summer with 13. But guess what? We never know anything except to love.
Mm.
So although our parents are not alive, but what they have planted in us, Paul showed you, they are like a sample of a typical house that we grew up in. Thatch house. So it's not about where you come from, guys. If you're on and you don't even know what you want to be when you grow up, even though you grow up already,
Ah, that's a good
there
one.
is still hope. Just trust God, and then He will lead the way. He says that we are to cast our cares. He says, seek Him first. I'm not preaching, but seek Him first, and then everything else will come. So I am where I'm at because of God and the love and support of my awesome brother and sister them, right? And the nieces, and when that died in 2008,
Mm.
when that died, we counted up just his children and our children. 2008, we got 115 of us.
Oh wow.
And since then, I think it's only three persons have passed since that time, but a whole more
And more is
born.
gone, right?
A
Exactly.
whole more born in the whole mix-up thing. So I just want to say thanks to our parents and for everybody who has participated, said a nice word to us, a kind word to us, give it one like a money, because we never have no hope for money, right? And they sowed in our lives. But from a cybersecurity standpoint, I'm sure that the moment we get into a vehicle, for the most of us, we put on the seatbelt, right? We put on the seatbelt. And they always say that accidents happen closer to home than farther away. So it's not the amount of time that you spend on the internet will determine if you can be attacked. It's just that you're deep on the internet.
Yeah, if
From
you
your deep on the internet, you are vulnerable, right? So I want to say to you, be aware, everything like just in terms of tips, if I may give you some tips, use strong, and now they're saying not password, because password is just one word. Now they're saying use a passphrase. So like think of something like June and Paul of Jamaica, bad bad. You know how much words that is, right? And then how many characters. So it's harder for the hackers to crack when it's long. So they say use a long one. I know
Yeah.
our brains getting old, so we want to use the same password for everything. No, even write it down on a piece of paper. Now online they have what is called your password manager, where it manages all your passwords, but people don't want to do that. Write it in a book, but all you do, keep the book lock up, secret. Not tell nobody that's your password manager.
you know
So
what?
change your password. We are into the Internet of Things, which is your fridge, your stove, your
Yeah.
thermostat, your light bulb, your TV, everything is now into our homes. So we have no privacy in our homes anymore. So be careful. You gotta go and change the settings. If you don't know how to do all of those, contact us. The website is there. We will show you how. All we want to know is that you are protected. That's what we do. Both companies and individuals, we provide training, one-on-one, group training, not just in cybersecurity, and that's why the company is called Technologically Speaking. Because when I started the company, I wanted to just do cybersecurity. And then I realized that not very many persons had the basic infrastructure in place for you to put on the cybersecurity. Because if you're going to put on an alarm on your house, you need the house first.
You need the house for
You
sure.
need the house. So not a lot of persons know about, even the little router and the Wi-Fi and stuff, that those need to be protected. Because the hackers are there. They know you don't know. And that's what they prey on. So keep an open mind. Be aware. Never click on anything, whether a text message on your phone, because they are now targeting your text, not just email. So anything that's connected to the internet, they talk to each other. Yeah, the devices are very friendly. Talk to each other without us knowing. So right now, all of us who are connected, I'm connected. My device is talking to all kind of people, and I never give it permission. The only permission I did was connect to the internet. So if you connect it, protect it. You don't know how, contact us.
I like
God
that.
bless and thank you,
If
Bishop.
if you're connected, protected.
If
Uh,
you
and,
connect it, protect it.
and let me just slip this one thing in here, because as you talk about the cunningness of those who are trying to sneak into, uh, I frequently get text messages from all different kind of numbers,
Mhm.
um, and somehow somebody know my phone carrier, and,
Mhm.
and they're texting to me telling me, apologizing for the drop call or the whatever it was, and then here's a little something for you, but first of all, AT&T don't know me to know me Bishop Doc, so they don't really know my real name. So, but they're using the name that they see public. So here's a little something for you, Bishop Doc. Click on this link. A little something for you. Never click on links.
Yeah.
Never click on links, even if it comes from somebody unless you verify it. Unless you
Yeah.
verify it. All right, because
Call them and verify. Did
yeah.
you say, and just this is not a story, it's a real thing. Orlando and I were sitting, at home, we live together, right? So we were sitting at home, and then I got an email, and it says, like, here are the pictures from, I don't remember what it said. So
Mhm.
I said to him, which pictures are these? And he said, what pictures? And I said, I just got an email, and you're sharing the link with me to the pictures that we took. I think it was some vacation that we had been
Wow.
on, right? And then he said, I never sent an email to you. And then when we checked it out, that somebody had hacked into, got his username and password. Because
Mhm.
once they have that combination,
Mhm.
then they are free, and
You're
they set up
done.
email.
Yeah.
Do you know how many persons click on the links? Because guess what? They want to see the picture with Lando and Jude, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's what gets people. So if I didn't say to him, hey, which pictures are these? It's my husband. It comes to a look at the email address, I could have clicked. So, and then sometimes to check your sent folders,
Mhm.
your sent folder, to see if emails have been going out that you did not send. It's not just the ones your inbox, your sent folders as well. And what you do if something like that happens is that you go in and you change your password and make it a long thing, because it's that combination, and set up what they call multi-factor, two-factor authentication. So it's not just your username and password. They will send a text message or use your
Yeah.
fingerprint,
Yeah.
different combinations, not just one. So never use one layer of anything. They call it defense in depth. So it's layers and layers, because the cyber criminals will always target the lowest hanging fruit, which means those who are not protected. So then we just say, Chuck, you have too much layer, and we just go on to the next person who
Yeah.
don't have nothing. So protect yourself,
it,
guys.
it's it's a little annoying, a little frustrating for you to do it, but it's for your own safety, right?
It takes effort. It takes
Yeah,
effort. It
yeah.
takes
And the last thing I want to say on that, because we are all on Facebook. I was on Facebook just 2 days ago, and I saw a message came from a friend of mine, and then there's a link in the messenger that's saying click under it to verify if I'm in this video. So I'm wondering why do I need to verify if I'm in a video? If you send a link to me and you know me, you're supposed to know if I'm in the video. Why do I need to verify that? So I sent a message to the person right away and said, did you send me a link for me to click on some and to check a video, because I don't like to click on weird links. And she said, you know what? She responded and said, I did not send a message to you or anybody. So somebody must have hacked into it. So we're just saying this for you to just be aware, to create an awareness that we are all vulnerable. And if we're not aware, then we could become the next victim. I am so excited to have Paul with me, the artist, and June, Carly, Carlene Blackwood Brown, and thank you so much. This has been an excited evening. And I saw Debbie Lynn Campbell said, "Good job, guys. Late, but better late than never." Guess what, Debbie Lynn? You're not late, because once we are finished, you can go back and watch it from the beginning. So you're never too late. It's going to be there from time to until we are not here anymore. YouTube will hold it, Facebook will hold it. You can always watch it. And by the way, you can still share it. May God bless you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to see where the Lord will lead you. Carlene, it's nice to catch up with you. I didn't know where life took you. I didn't know you were in Cayman. I didn't know you were in Canada. I didn't know where life took you. I just know that she was always brilliant, always studying, always going to school, always getting more degrees. And I didn't know where she went. But finally, I catch up with you. Paul, thank you for your own vulnerability.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
Bishop.
your own inabilities. Thank you for your own dependency on Carlene, that you decide, let's get her together so we can. This was rich and healthy, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You're gonna stay right there with me, because when I get off, we're gonna say goodbye offline. But my friends, thank you for joining me on another Let's Talk with the Doc. As again, if you're not following me on Facebook, it's time to do that. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, it's time to do that, because you never know who next will be in the conversation. Get ready for it, because it's
God
coming.
bless you.
Until next time, I will see you on another Let's Talk with It. A great lineup is coming. I got some phenomenal people coming up soon, big time. As a matter of fact, in October 20th, I got maybe 8 young people that's going to be in a panel discussion about the church now, the church future, and how it will impact young people. You better join us for that. All right, until next time, this is me saying, let's talk with the Doc will come again. Hang in there, Paul and Carlene. We're going to talk offline.
God bless you.
Well, thank you for checking in on ORB Ministries. I trust that you will share with your friends, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, and stay tuned, because you never know what's next or who will join the conversation.